So you're at that part in the season where there's not much left to do in Destiny 2. It's a long time until the Witch Queen, so you can either decide to go outside and touch some grass, or you can go grind for that Adept headache you really want. Luckily, it's the Hollowed Lair Grandmaster this week, and it's perfect for giving you an Adept headache. This Grandmaster guide is here to get you on the road to Conqueror in Season of the Lost, as we separate the screebs from the baby screebs and everything in between. The Adept Plug One fusion rifle and Adept Uzume sniper rifle are on the cards as rewards this week. Remember, if you go on to find this guide helpful, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up too. 87% of viewers who watch aren't yet subscribed, so do the thing, it's time. First up then, the modifiers. You've got your usual Grandmaster modifiers of locked loadouts, match game shields, limited revives and extinguish, meaning you'll be booted to orbit if you die. You've only got unstoppable and overload scorn champions in here though, which aren't too tough. Then there's also a stasis burn, which means stasis damage is increased both ways, so I'm led to believe, and then finally there's the mini screebs. These are absolutely everywhere and spawn instantly as soon as you kill a Scorn Stalker. They're silent and deadly and will be the cause of endless amounts of deaths in this Nightfall. That being said, let's take a quick look at the fireteam loadout we have here. The majority of these are covered in my recent GM build guide, so if you want a more in-depth look to the build crafting for GMs in particular, I highly recommend you go and check it out. Ultimately though, we had 2 Stag Warlocks running stasis with Bleak Watcher turrets and 1 Night Stalker Tether Hunter, with the main aim being to just shut down large areas of enemies throughout with supers and abilities. You're going to be playing at distance, so being able to let your stasis turrets slow everything down really does help you to manage the enemies here. If you've got the Vex Mytha class, chuck it on. Otherwise you'll be wanting a pulse rifle for the unstoppable champions and a bow for overloads. Likewise, Divinity is excellent to deal with overloads too, but also to create that huge crit spot for dealing huge damage with your linear fusion rifle of choice, because you will be running particle deconstruction at a bare minimum. There's only a few solar and arc shielded enemies, so make sure you cover that off in your fire team. Survivability is key, so use resist mods on your chest armour. I was running the stasis resist and sniper resist mods, but you'll still likely get one banged by something in here, so it's all about limiting your time in the open with your movement, to be honest. Anyway, enough of the bullshit build talk, so let's get to the business end of the video. You'll load in at the Tangled Shore, so try not to get found before it even starts on your way to the strike itself. As you move through the Nightfall, you'll regularly come across both unstoppable and overload champions in pairings multiple times, so be prepared. The first part really just sets the tone for the Nightfall, and so play your distance and cover as you deal with the champions. There's a few snipers to watch out for too, and a mini boss, but if you're using your abilities, you'll easily move through to the spider tank room in no time. Here though, you'll want to play from the safety of the doorway to deal with the champions and enemies before starting the pressure plate. Use a super if required, just to make it a bit more manageable, especially if the overload is pinning you down in the back. The trick here though, as pointed out by Porgarello, is with the pressure plate is to not let it go all the way down. Kind of jump on and off until it's near the bottom. This will spawn just the adds and further champions first without the spider tank, making this room much more manageable. Once it's time though, spawn the spider tank and go ham on it before moving through towards the double sync room. Once here, again you want to stick near the entrance as much as possible so you can effectively funnel the enemies towards you. You still get grenaded a ton and sniped, but it'll be way easier here. Deal with the champions before then doing one sync plate at a time. This will make dealing with enemies easier again, so you and your fire team can just focus fire on everything. A super or 2 during each phase won't go amiss either. Finally, when the giant mini boss Scorn Ogre spawns, you want to be way back at their entrance, using your linear fusion rifles to chip away at its health. If you're too close, you'll get instantly zapped into next week. Now after this you're nearly at the boss room, but first the bridge section, which can be tricky. Again, don't rush, there's an overload champion, snipers and finally 2 unstoppable champions that spawn near the end. Spam your supers, abilities and whatever you've got here to get through this and hopefully unscathed. Finally, the boss room, and the real fun begins here. The Fanatic will one-tap you, the baby screebs will one-tap you, you're about to be one-tapped. So you want to use cover on the left and the right side of the room as often as possible as you ping the boss to whittle away his health. As the boss is health gated, the adds will spawn in as you do damage, first on the right, then the left and so on. Be mindful of the arc spawn trap that he summons throughout the fight too as you move around the room. Once the boss does retreat though, it gets hectic very fast. Use your supers to slow down the wave upon wave of adds, including an overload champion in the first wave and an unstoppable in the second. It feels like an unlimited amount of baby screebs spawn here too, so please watch out as you kill everything. Basically, just keep shooting the floor after killing something. Repeat this and rotate around the edge of the room as required. Remember, you'll also get teleported periodically, and as soon as you start to notice this, simply walk backwards. This will act to slow your momentum down during the teleport phase and make it easier to break the tether, and therefore stop the one-tap boss stomp too. The arc traps do become more frequent after the final immune phase, so once you've got a clear space from clearing adds, finally go ham on the boss and get that sweet Adept Loot. And that's it. The boss room can be an absolute nightmare, but just make sure to time your abilities and supers with the waves of enemies so that you can mop them up, as the boss really isn't that tough or tanky itself, to be honest. Hopefully you found this guide helpful. If you did, then please subscribe, hit that like button and also share it with your friends. Let me know what Adept Loot you're hunting down in the comments. That's it for this one though. I've been Truds, this has been your Road to Conqueror Hallowed Lair guide. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.